do the same in game number 2 once again.
No room for errors, no room for mistakes. This is bragging rights on the line and a chance for redemption if you're if you are a Indonesian team. Now, I think, no, let's talk about this Carmilla just a little bit. We talked a lot about it in the first game, but this time around, the different changes, the different adjustments that they had with the roster, bringing in the Atlas, bringing in the Juicin, will that give them mid lane priority to disrupt and to push De La Cruz back? The answer is, for now, kinda. They're doing substantial amount of damage onto Philippines. They're able to keep that jungle at bay, but you're going straight for the Lethal Wonder. You're going in for the engage, the Pico.
Lots of damage as well. It seems like, Alexander going soon with the flicker. First blood giving them sight of Team Indonesia. Great start for now. De La Cruz also following in, but a little bit too late for the party.
Great rotation coming in from Benedetta. He knows that if Fabico wasn't able to get felled, he would be able to come in as a second line of defense or offense in that sense. But very aggressive coming in from Indonesia at this point. They're finding all these loose members. They're finding and taking the mistakes that Philippines are making and just converting them. But what we know from Philippines' modus operandi is that they don't really care about these early game kills. Fabico had 3 deaths on that Luoyi. He's just playing their own game. You're wasting all your resources on me. Sure, I'm just going to go for the objectives, and I'm going to convert that into these main turret takes.
Okay, at the very least this time around, right? Okay, I know we're kind of talking about Camilla quite a bit as well. Last point, right? Churros, promise. Last point. Fatal links from the side Alexander into Afan's ultimate. How about that?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Potential wombo combo, eh?
A potential into a Xiaoqi's Electro Final blow into the Petrify as well.
Yeah, but they do need, I think, a lot more DPS for that one. So don't forget, this is not a time for Team Indonesia to try to pick up a fight as of now, because they don't really have that Fatal Links win con that I was looking for.
You need to have a lot of coordination for that to happen as well. Nepomuceno trying to look for an opportunity.
Here comes the Electro Final blow as well. Afan picks up the turtle away, stealing that away from the side of Team Philippines. Nepomuceno having a bit of spot of trouble. Shia Yuki, Heavy Spin also committed to try to get out of there. Espinio goes down for the count in the hands of Delvin.
Nepomuceno was unable to find the right timing, but here comes Vienna.
Vienna blazing to it, already landing upon the members on the side of Team Indonesia, but it's nothing but a tickle because this is an early game, Claude.
Philippines definitely not happy about how the objective went down. What happened was, Nepomuceno was getting pushed back by Afan, and now without that choke, now without that mobility that De La Cruz has for the side of Philippines, it creates this space and a lot of time for Afan to just free farm or free roam around her own jungle. So now, this Carmilla is basically even Stevens with the Akai. You're not too scared about the heavy spin. You're not too scared about the Akai being a little bit too damagey towards you, being too utility towards you. Nepomuceno making mistakes with the retribution. We don't often see that.
And I think, of course, the mistakes kind of falls by Xiaoyuki, right? The Petrify, Electro Final blow. Then apart from that, you also got the Alexander's Atlas, the passive as well, kind of stuns everybody in place, locking there, allowing Afan to land down. That blood package off Vienna. Ooh, tempting right there. Wait, how is he able to get away with so much damage? Push Dingarai all the way down to like a quarter. And now, all of a sudden, hey, Dingarai is losing a lot of priority in gold lane.
Yeah, for Vienna though, he doesn't really have a lot of mana as well. But for this time around, you have a lot of sustainability from the fighter Emblem. Xiaoyuki.
Electro Final blow used to just get out of dodge does keep that petrified for the next turtle fight happening in the next 20 seconds down at the gold lane. So this time around, expect, I would say, a stronger Team Indonesia is coming to game number 1, and also to a certain extent, a stronger Team Indonesia going into this turtle fight.
Extremely good use of Eye for an Eye as well. Heavy spin used up, you lock him down with Eye for an Eye. At least you have some sort of counteraction for the side of Team Philippines. De La Cruz finding it very hard to get into the midst of that fight. They know the Philippines know that they can't fight together as a 5-man unit. They have to somehow split up these team fights, find the different heads, and find the different heads of that Hydra fast.
Alexander trying to find Papico all the way in the back. Real world manipulation for the side. Papico is not used as of yet. Alexander still holding on to the Fatal Links. Binuya jumps into the lightning form. Nepomuceno will be able to find onto the turtle as Stingery will return the favor with De La Cruz. Vinuya finding onto Alexander as the members from the side Team Philippines collapse onto Team Indonesia. Nepomuceno already going into the heavy spin, but it's just a drive-by, and he's now slightly out of position. He's in no man's land. Viana coming in, BMI just in the nick of time. We'll be able to take down Stingery.
Trying to get that box down. Fabico with that kill onto Delphin.
Right at the edge of the real world manipulation box. Fabico. Man, this is crazy, right? Like, Team Philippines is having a couple of L's earlier just now in the first turtle fight, but they found their footing.
They found their groove. De La Cruz was right there. You set things up with the Raptor Dryad. The only difference was in the first part of the game, you see De La Cruz already having that ultimate, and setting things up, trying to pull the attention away, buying a lot of space for the rest of Philippines to target prioritize onto the back line. A fun fell first, and then goes Alexander. The turtle was already also taken up by Nepomuceno, so very good play from De La Cruz, sacrificing himself, and it's such a worthy trade.
Yeah, and of course, you know, that one kill given over the side of Yana, Demon Hunter sort of already secured. That's a key item, especially when you're dealing with the likes of Afan that wants to build tanky, the likes of Alexander. So a little bit of respect needs to be given over the side of Vienna already. Stingery does have a very good item going into the turtle fight earlier just now, albeit, you know, turtle given over the side of Team Philippines. And not only just that, they also lost quite a few people as well. I would say, what, 4 people earlier just now in that scuffle?
Three people.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Delvin fell at the end, but hold on.
Getting down, busted down by the side of Vinuya as well. Don't forget, Sora acts like an assassin, especially even though he builds HP.
Philippines having that connection right from the get-go. They know they're underneath that turret. Immediately, Vinuya goes in when Nepomuceno is near, so you don't want to deal with 2 of these tanky boys right from that start. They're trying to pull things off. Alexander, a little bit on the off end. You lose out Shelky. He's making a beeline towards this turtle. This is going to be interesting, whether De La Cruz is going to set things up first.
Dermot will be able to find a taunt onto Stingery right there. Members from the side of Team Indonesia just zoning, using all of that with utility, and now it's going to be a fun Nepomuceno still finding onto the turtle, even in the middle of real world manipulation. Now it's also going to be a fatal links activated at the last moment. Vinuya trying to go into, jump into the air, and the choke point against Team Indonesia as Xiaoyuki and Delvin returns the favor. Now tagging onto Nepomuceno. Stingery picks up a double kill.
Philippines took down that turtle, but they lost 3 members in the process. They had that slow push up on that top side, so the macro game is still on and ongoing strong. The issue was Fabico set up that box. They didn't realize where Saryuki was. He had easy access into Fabico and into that back line. Viana was way too out of position, and having that Benedetta around you, you're gonna want to play it safe. You force Viana to take that long route away from that from the den. So Saryuki, one person alone, just taking care of 2 of that backline members.
Yeah, and you know, you see Alexander using that fatal links into a choke point. Vinuya also responding with the same jumping in at the same time. But Stingery, you know, not going to fall for that bait. At the very least, slows down the tempo and then return after the Sora has completed his Thunder ultimate, and then after that he re-engages. So Team Indonesia finds a good mark, and now it seems like, you know, Team Philippines and also Team Indonesia, the gold somewhat equalized, still in the favor of 1K for the side of Team Philippines, but that's still a small amount.
Yeah, at least for the 8-minute mark, the next fight is going to be a huge one. The first low of the game, as De La Cruz has opportunities to find great team fight kickoffs with the Raptor Dryad, but Afan just holding on to the Blood Pact and waiting for Alexander to lure everyone in. That's how they want to play it. Philippines is splitting up as 5 members. They don't want to stand too close, and they know how to play around this Carmilla. The issue is, if they don't stay as 5, then you're splitting the heads. Saryuki is going to pick off one of those loose members one at a time.
Yeah, and not just that, Delvin can also do the same. Flicker already committed right there. Viana taking the damage onto Delvin. He's taken a lot of punishment. Has to back off for now, and that's going to be a Lord spawn around the bottom side.
Philippines has that slow push up on that top side. Gotta send Saryuki up onto the top side to deal with that. If not, they'll lose a T2, but looks like he has other plans.
I feel like member from the side Team Philippines knows what's up. Spider Sense tingling as well. We'll be able to find onto Xiaoyuki. Still holding onto most of their ultimates from the side of Team Indonesia. Team Philippines as well. All the battle spells are up. Same could be said over the side of Team Indonesia. It could be a fair fight going into the next team fight.
the Lord Dance is trying to bait out where Sharuki is, identify where he is, try to bait out the ultimates that Alexander wants to bring to the table. If not, De La Cruz will be able to start things off with the Wrath of Dryad as a counter re-engage if Alexander comes too close. The issue is right now they have not only have to deal with the Atlas, they have to deal with the Carmilla as well. Afan is just nearby. And as Philippines has a collapsible kind of draft, this is going to be difficult for Indonesia to, for Philippines to break apart.
I would say the problem is, Team Indonesia, that Juicin is proven very deadly. Vinuya may get caught in the awkward position right here, goes into the storm, and here comes the blood pack as well. Now it's also not only just De La Cruz, Nipamucheno also sharing all of that damage, and also the fatal links to pull Team Philippines in an awkward position. Heavy spin as well. Oh, Shuki! Then on the final electro blow getting denied for the heavy spin as Nipamucheno is just trying by. Pabiko will be able to find out to Suyuki though. Pabiko goes into real wall manipulation, and also the place to win for Vienna. But Dingerai has something else to say. There's about to zip zap to put on the damage onto Vinuya as well. Alexander hopefully trying to peel. Nice flicker for the side. Vinuya will be letting the damage onto Afan. 3, 4 members. Oh no, wait, there's a total wipeout for the side of Indonesia.
Philippines started things off. No, they disengaged. 2 ways of disengage with the Wrath of Dryad. They were locked down. De La Cruz and Nepomuceno were locked down by the Blood Pack. They were drawn in with the Fatal Links, but that creates so much space for Viana to get into position. They saw where Sayuki is and immediately went in to protect onto that back line. And from there, they already utilized all their core resources on the 2 tanks off the side of Philippines, which created not enough damage, not enough options for Indonesia to try to get that re-engage capabilities.
Yeah, like this is literally, you spoke about it, the Ube to kind of bait out not only just Alexander's ultimate, Afan's ultimate as well. And then after that, they split up. Then they reconverge, pick up one after another. Xiaoyuki, right? That Electro Final Blow did not land because of the heavy spin earlier just now.
We take a look at the back line. Xiaoyuki is just pushing everyone back, and they know when to back off. Take a look at where Nipamucheno is. He wants to try to push in the macro game. Viana is not too difficult to deal with because he has to protect, because he does have some form of sustain in the form of the fighter emblems as well. But then again, in the mid side, Nipamucheno knows that, hey, you're going to chase up my teammates. I know they're going to be fine. Let's just focus on the macro game for just a little bit more.
I think it's just, if you take a look at, if you remember from the instant replay, it's just, Dingerai and also for the side of the Delvin, right? They overextended way too far. Alexander is forced to back up because he doesn't really have any HP anymore. And then all of a sudden, your main Fushi is just left unchecked. Team Philippines, more than happy to do this. If you notice, Vinuya, most of the time, you see him goes into the Thunder Ultimate to burst down this Harrier.
Yeah, Vinuya doing a phenomenal job just layering everything in. He knows that Nipamucheno as well as De La Cruz just jumping into the fray first, soaking up and leashing as much damage as they can. Vinuya finding the right opportunity and the timing once every skill is used to just clean up shop.
I would say the Juicin Delvin is definitely the one thing that's slowing down Team Philippines, right? Like the innate ability of just picking somebody up and then throwing it aside, especially when you deal a lot more bonus damage, how tanky you are. Nipamucheno, not only just that, De La Cruz also, Vinuya to a certain extent are very tanky heroes.
Yeah, Viana already showing himself right now, and I think just to add on to that, Delvin with the pepper spray and just slowing everyone down is just really high utility for Philippines.
Lingering around right there, now the Lord is down low, just a little Pico right there, Nipamucheno picking out the Lord for himself. Now Vinuya goes into the Thunderform, trying to jump all the way into the sky, but doesn't activate the ultimate, flickers all the way back out to safety. Nipamucheno gets picked up by the side of Delvin, and it's going to be Fiona jumping all the way in, the blazing to win, gets denied. De La Cruz also activating ultimate. That's a shutdown by the side of Dingerai onto the members for the side of Team Philippines. Now Vinuya, the only casualty, but at the very least, Team Philippines secures the Lord.
Indonesia knows that Pabiko already used that box to try to secure that Lord, or to guarantee that the Lord is secured on the side of Philippines. But for Indonesia, though, they put all their eggs again into one basket, just honing onto De La Cruz, honing on to Nipamucheno. Vinuya was there using that Storm Surge to try to disrupt that team fight once Nipamucheno is on time. Sayuki doing a huge amount of the damage, but the box...
What? Real world manipulation did catch on the Xiaoyuki, but commits all of his skills to basically get out of there scot-free. I say good attempt, but it's just an ultimate traded for another ultimate.
Well, for Philippines, it's back to, playing it slow. Let's reset that tempo. We were a little bit too speedy. Let's try to slow things down. Indonesia likes to play around this team fights. On the backside, though, he bought so much time for De La Cruz. He sacrificed himself with the Storm form as well. And so it's just free hitting from the back. So it's a typical front-to-back kind of strategy, but it's just baiting and leashing everything up. Notice how Philippines does have three tanks in the form of the Sora, the Akai, and the Beleric as well.
I think right now, that's the problem from the side of Juicin, right? That's why Juicin and the B1 pick is so annoying, especially when you're dealing with, tanks coming up from the side of team. When you have tanks on your side, right? And, Nepomuceno, basically the punching bag for the side of Delvin, and it's very annoying. But the problem is, because of that, the whole tempo for the side of Team Philippines is slowed down significantly. But Vienna, 406 is the KDA. He's starting to scale, but don't count on Dingarai as well. He is outputting godly amount of damage.
It's almost a full build and does look like a full damage Shauki on this Benedetta, but he's playing pretty well. He's just a lone soldier on the top side, clearing up that waves and maintaining that wave pressure. Getting that slow push on the top side will alleviate some pressure down from that bottom, especially since the Lord is going to be spawning up on that top.
Yep, Shiayuki, using the Benedetta to its max, right? Like split pushing, creating space all the way in the upper side of the map, forcing Team Philippines to really go back and kind of engage onto it. You can see De La Cruz having a lot of problems. The burn damage coming out, and not only just that, the Rev on the Dryer coming in, taunting everybody from the side of Team Indonesia down. But it seems like Team Indonesia still slightly unfazed. Piping a real one manipulation, a little bit too deep, and then with the crown and also Vienna placing the way, pushing Team Indonesia down. Team Indonesia running out of steam, losing a pawn.
De La Cruz is still left alive. Without Venuya, though, they know that they can't force that engage anymore. But no jungle, Philippines could just be a straight beeline and blitz down this Lord.
And not only just that, Shiayuki already using Petrify to get out there. The Electro Finder Blow still intact for now. But Delvin, that damage, that Lantern is so annoying to deal with. And you start to see, right, Venuya, one of the main targets of that, Nepomuceno, also the same. So it's all about how Team Philippines navigate around this.
I think for De La Cruz, that was a perfect ultimate. Venuya was just on the vicinity. He dived in with the Storm form just to unleash havoc onto Indonesia. He's just baiting in the Fatal Links, baiting in the Blood Pact. And this is the power of the utility coming in from Indonesia. Will be hard to tear down, will be hard to take out. Upon Philippines.
Limping all the way to the Lord. Lord already half HP. De La Cruz goes into the Conceal as well, try to find onto a fan to release the ultimate. He just wants to make sure everybody targets onto him. And while that's happening, Nepomuceno sneaks away the Lord from Team Indonesia.
There's the Blazing Duet as well, Vienna.
Shiayuki, no way for him to run. Even with the Electro Finder Blow intel, it is not enough because Vienna on his claw is just bursting him down.
So much disruptions from the Rapid Dryad alone. That's a 5-man taunt every single time it's used, and it's so hard to take this Valoric down. The more damage you deal to him, especially if you're Dingarai, it gets reflected back onto yourself. And the focusing fire onto this Valoric alone is just what's biting Indonesia down on its foot. Shiayuki really needs to find a way to get into Vienna. That is the main damage of, the main hits. Delvin, the spot button right there.
What's Indonesia doing? Delvin just decides to walk and also burn the flicker just to try to get on the way. And this opens up a lot of things for the side of Team Filipino as well. And now it's going to be the Zaman Force coming out for the side of Dingarai. Alexander down low already goes all the way to the Immortality. Shiayuki trying to cut out with the also Electro Thunder Blow, finds onto Vienna and now has to back off. Assassination attempted, and Vienna is that victim.
I think they were waiting on that bush to try to single out Vienna. At least they took out the marksman. At least they took out the main damage of Philippines. Now Indonesia will be able to defend against this Lord, and it's up to the drawing board once again.
Venuya getting picked up by the side of Delvin, though. There's also a Lord marching up top. Zaman Force already used by the side of Dingarai to wave to clear that Lord. But Team Indonesia is still not out of the woods just yet. Mid lane, man, Koff would just push that structure down.
At the very least, they bought themselves some time, some breathing room as well, as Indonesia needs to turtle up once again. Philippines still up ahead in terms of the kills, in terms of the economy. and it's so hard to break them down. The Lantern will not be enough as Dinger Riot comes through.
Heavy Spin already committed so that he is immune in terms of the CC. Gets Fatal Links right into the face, and now he's in the middle of no man's land, right in the middle of Team Indonesia as they gang up onto him.
Yeah, Indonesia is definitely able to chase down the loose members of Philippines. And for the side of Philippines, though, as much as they wanted to take down that turret, they were not expecting how sneaky Shauki is with the damage as well into the late game. And using the eye for an eye, using the prowess that they have, it's so difficult to catch and latch on to this Benedetta.
Wait, hold a second. Why are we fighting on Team Filipino side of the map? Isn't it Team Filipino actually doing a very strong spearhead all the way against Team Indonesia earlier just now? And don't forget, Team Indonesia has 2 open lanes.
They were playing it safe. They were waiting for Viana to come back online. Without this Claude, they know that they have not enough damage to take any one of the members down. They're throwing all their eggs into Viana, so the win condition is just on one member. Pabiko is right there to control and secure the objectives. But Indonesia, they found a way to take down Viana, and that is in the form of Shauki.
Now, Alexander in a spot of trouble, perfect match, will be able to escape for now. Top side, Vinuya will show himself trying to fix that wave. But the Lord being secure, being prioritized by the side of Team Indonesia right now. They have low priority.
Waves on the long lane, getting slow push down. It's still pretty even. The Lord of 5 members are right there. Looks like they're sending Shauki up on the top side though.
Well, I feel like if you're Team Indonesia, you need to try to burst down that low. I heard a concealed play. It seems like, you know, it could be a fun. And also Alexander trying to make a play right here, but will not be able to find anybody. There's nobody there in that particular part of the jungle. And now Vinuya looking to try to pay some form of revenge right there. And that drop point, and also the blood pack as well. Members for the side of Team Philippines, this is not exactly where you want to be. Great one manipulation committed by the side of Pabiko as well. Delvin will be able to use the Crimson Beacon. Killing spree coming over the side of the Benedetta already. Xiaoyuki and the blood pack, the damage flows into both sides.
Dinger Riot is down low. Viana might be able to take him out. He's got immortality though.
Summon force to no avail, but it's going to be a trade. Viana is still alive though, and now Xiaoyuki has to make a run for heals. Trying to go for Pabiko though, but Viana is also down low, trying to heal all the way back up. Nice with the ground.
He might be able to do it though.
Pabiko, an outplay from the side of Pabiko against Xiaoyuki.
It's 3-on-1. It's Delvin against the rest of Philippines. Will he be able to do it?
He should be able to do it right now. And now the members of the side of Team Philippines using Never Merceno to basically try to push Delvin all the way. And now Viana with